Hello, guys, and welcome here to another episode in Motorsport International in Romanian Culture Cars. My name is Baicu Vlad-Andrei. I'm here with Mateo Llarena. Hello, Mateo.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you so much. Mateo Llarena, GT driver, will tell us a couple of secrets about his motorsport career, how he started, results, achievements, and much more. Mateo, let's start with a little describe about you.
Yes, first of all, thank you very much for the invitation. It is very special for me to be part of your program now that you're starting. Um, yes, so tell you a little bit about me. I am 20 years old. I was born and raised in Guatemala City, in Guatemala. It's a small country in Central America, and I have been racing in karting since I am 4 years old. And until now, I am part of the Lamborghini Junior Driver Academy. And yes, have been racing in Europe and United States for some years successfully. And yeah, you probably know me very well. You have been following me for some years, so I am open to any question you have.
All right, so how you start the motorsport career and what is your driver? What is your favorite driver to convince you to start motorsport career as a role model?
Yes, so I started in this sport thanks to my father. I remember always when I was small, 3 years old, 4 years old, I liked to watch in the TV the races. Also, I would go to see the local races where I had some friends and family that raced. And these are my first memories, watching the race cars, the smell of fuel, the smell of rubber. So I have this memory of always liking to go to the track, watching the races in the TV. And when I was 4 years old, this was in 2008, I got as a gift my first go-kart. It was a 50cc kart. And the first time I drove it was in a parking lot. So my first time wasn't even in a track, it was in a parking space. And since that first time, I really owe everything to my father that supported me in every step. We started racing a little bit in United States in karting. Then I went to Italy to do some races and some testing with the go-kart when I was 9 years old, 10 years old. And slowly everything started escalating. And the first time I drove a car in a racetrack was when I was 12 years old in Guatemala in the local circuit. It was a Ford Mustang GT, adapted for it was a real race car. Maybe not the best race car, but it was a real race car. And then my first proper season was in Formula 4 in 2018. I was 14 years old, and it was Formula 4 NACAM. It was a Latin American Formula 4. They used the Ford EcoBoost engine and the Migale French chassis. It was really good to start. And then in 2019, I took the decision I wouldn't stay in formulas because the next step was probably Formula 3 or doing another year in Formula 4 in USA or in Italy. But I always had a love for GT cars, and especially Porsche has always been my first love in auto racing in motorsport. So in 2019, I did some races in United States with Porsche in the GT3 Cup. In a 991, I raced in Homestead, and I did a race in Daytona also. It was not the 24-hour race, it was just like a club event race. So, and I really found myself comfortable with GT cars. I was able to be really fast since the beginning. I was 15 years old and I was already faster than some guys that were 20 or 30 years old in the same car. So I really got this first taste of GT, and in 2020 I did a big step. And after racing in 2019 in the United States and in Argentina with Porsche Cup, I went to Europe to compete in the 2020 Porsche Mobile One Super Cup Championship, that is known to be the hardest championship of Porsche. And honestly, it was a really nice year. I was able to get points in some races. That is something that nobody of my age has, well, achieved. It was the first time. And I currently have two Guinness World Records. First, I am the youngest driver to compete in Porsche Super Cup. I was 16. And the second world record is the youngest driver to have points, to achieve points, being the top 15 in Porsche Super Cup. That is not easy when you have a 30 car field. So yes, basically this is my early years. And then I moved in 2021. I had the opportunity to do Italian GT in Imperiale was the name of the team. It was the official team for Lamborghini in Italian GT that year. And honestly, since the first race with Lambo, I always felt at home. The first year I raced in the Pro-Am category, we had one podium in Misano. And since then, I took the decision to stay with Lamborghini. It is a car I feel comfortable with. It is a brand I like. I also really like the academy and went on to have two very successful years in Motorsport 2022 and 2023. 2022, I did Italian GT Endurance with Imperiale again. And of the four races, we had three podiums in three races.
Or
So it was one podium in Mugello, one podium in Monza, one podium in Vallelunga, and one pole position in Mugello. And I was, let's say, 17 years old. No, wait, 18 years old, 2022. So it was also a big achievement for me because I was, well, I am still young, but I was even younger. And I was already having that results in a very high level GT3 championship. And then 2023, I moved to Italian GT Sprint with team Vincenzo Sospiri Racing. Have you heard of Vincenzo Sospiri?
yes, yes, yes.
So for me, it is one of the best teams in the Lamborghini world and also in all the GT3 world. I could say Vincenzo was kind of a mentor for me in this year in 2023. He was an ex Formula One driver. Well, he's an ex Formula One driver and is known for being very successful in helping young drivers move up the ladders. So 2023 for me was a really nice year. I had one podium in Mugello and my first overall win in GT3 in Imola in the last race. That for me, Imola is such a special track because my biggest idol is Ayrton Senna, and I was able to be first place in Imola. So this is a memory I will always have forever. And I would say 2023 for me was quite a good year. Also, I did a lot of good steps technically and professionally driving. I did a big step. As you know, Italian GT is very competitive. And yes, then we can move on to 2024 that I moved to GT World Challenge Europe Endurance with Grasse Racing Team. That is also a reference team in the Lamborghini world and in the GT3 world. And I can say it's the best championship in the world in GT3. And the level of competition is so high. And yes, I was able to do the 24 hours of Spa. Maybe later you can ask me some questions about this race because it's a really nice
You can tell me
experience.
about the 24-hour of Spa, actually. We have a couple of questions, but of course, you can tell us your
Yes,
experience.
yes, I would say, of course, the highlight of this year was being able to race in the 24 hours of Spa. It is an amazing event, as you know, more than 50 cars, GT3 cars. And the conditions this year were not easy at all. We had a lot of rain in the night, and I did some stints in the night with the rain. And yeah, even sometimes it was impossible to see the next corner, or even in the straight, it was not easy to see ahead. So yes, of course, the first time you do a race like this, it's incredible. And yes, talking about 24-hour races, I have done Daytona 24 hours two times. First time in 2021 in LMP3 and the second time in 2022 in GTD in a Lamborghini. we working with Team T3 Motorsport, and we finished P8 in GTV class. That is a very good result. It is also not an easy race. And yes, it's been escalating each year very quickly. But I have my goals, I have my ambitions. I want to continue with Lamborghini. I am growing each time more inside Lamborghini, and I my goal is to be a factory driver in the next 2 or 3 years. So we are slowly working on this project and this dream, but I am sure that we will make it true in some years.
That's for sure, and good luck to achieve the factory driver as well. He's gonna be your plan for 2025. So
Yeah.
now tell me, what do you recommend for rookie and next generation driver to start with? Which competition, which events, which track, and do you prefer, as I say, for the rookie and next generation, do you prefer national role model or international role model?
Yes. So first of all, motorsport is not an easy sport. First of all, because it is an expensive sport, unfortunately, and also it is a sport where you need to dedicate yourself a lot, do a lot of sacrifices. I can tell you, I have sacrificed a lot of things in the way. Um, Friends, time with family. Some Fridays, instead of going out with friends, I had to be in the racetrack, karting or in the simulator. So first off, you need to be committed to achieve your goal, because it is a sport where if you're not committed fully, you will not have the results you want, and maybe you can get stressed out. But the first step would be starting karting. Maybe the first time you go karting to a rental cart, or start in a category for amateurs. It's the first step you need to do. And I can tell you that all the years I did in karting for sure were important. It is the first contact you have with the sport is normally through karting. So having a good base in the first years, especially for small kids, is important to understand the basics of how everything works in a race car, in a kart. So yes, for sure, my biggest tip would be to start in karting if you can.
All right. And now is gonna be a good question as well. The Central of America or America Central, whatever you want to say. Now we have drivers like Alex Powell, the Jamaica,
Mhm.
Elfin Castro, and Jimmy Libra. Also, you,
Mhm.
of course, coming from Guatemala as well. And let's not forget Rolando Saca from El Salvador as well, driving in
Yes,
24-hour series. So tell me, how is the motorsport in that region? Like
yes, I
Central of America, because also you
yes,
have a competition as well, a GT competition.
yes. I can tell you a little bit about it. As you know, and I told you, I was born and raised in Guatemala City. I race under the Italian license. I have Italian blood, Italian citizenship also. And I started karting in Guatemala. There's a local track and a local karting championship. This is where I started. And yes, I really have a special place in my heart for Guatemala, because it is the place where I had the opportunity to start as a racing driver. But if I wanted to be good and have a professional career, I had to start my career in other countries like Europe or America. So since I was very small, I started racing outside of Guatemala. I still did the local championships to be active, but sadly, the level in Guatemala is not the best. Also in Latin America, it's not the same as Europe.
Latin America, sorry.
Yeah, so it's a good place to start. Um, but yeah, currently I would say yes, there is a GT championship, but the truth is it is not a homologated championship. There are different type of car racing. Um, they are disorganized. I have seen some of these races, but honestly, my point of view is that it's not real motorsport. It's just a competition of who has the best car. So I normally don't watch these races much. But it's yeah, it's okay to try to start to have a bit of motorsport in the country, but real motorsport is in Europe and in America, in USA.
All right, all right. So now let's talk about serious discuss. My in my country, the motorsport is being promoted by two phrases: "Street is not circuit," and "Champions are in circuit, not in the street." To tell us people for the first time who watching us my interview, people who watching me already other interview will know exactly what I'm talking about. In your opinion, what do we have to do to convince people to coming on events and track days, and what can we do to stop street racing?
Yes, this is a very important action. First of all, racing in the street is not the best idea, not only because you are putting your life at risk, because there are many factors that you cannot control, but also you are risking the lives of other innocent people in the street that maybe uh, could be a family, it could be someone crossing the street that can get involved in an accident with you. So, of course, my message for everyone is to, if they have a local racetrack or a local club for racing in the street, it would be nice if you try it, and I am sure that you will love it. It will become a passion for sure, and you will forget about racing in the streets.
All right, all right. And before we end the interview, a message for fans.
Yes, yes, of course. For all the people that have been following me, thank you so much. I really appreciate everything, all the messages, also from you. You're always following me and texting, so thank you very much. And yes, yes, let's see what 2025 brings us. My plan is to continue in Lamborghini and do GT World Challenge Endurance again in the silver category. So you can follow me in Instagram on and in Facebook also, and I will keep you updated of everything.
That's for sure, guys. And I will let you all the social media in the description down below to contact Mateo Llarena and tell him, or maybe a Q&A session about his motorsport career achievements, results, and much more. Of course, if you don't contact him on social media, in the comment section down below, also you have a Q&A session when you will ask, or maybe you want to ask Mateo Llarena about his motorsport career as well, and other things to do, and of course other stuff like that. And before we end the interview, if you want to tell us other something or not.
Yes, yes, of course. If you have another question or are looking forward to knowing anything, I have time, so let me know if you have a question.
All right, all right. So maybe it's gonna be a question that I want to ask you. Um, do you believe the Latin American they have good drivers in the future? Of course, you are from Guatemala as well, and other drivers who I mentioned right now. But the future on this region in this sport.
Yes, of course, there is talent in Latin America. I can mention easily, well, it's South America, but Argentina has some amazing drivers. My current manager is Facu Regalia. He is the Formula 3 vice champion some years ago. He has been my coach and manager in the last years. And now, currently, there is a new driver in Formula 1, Franco Colapinto, that is from Argentina. I raced with him in karting many years ago. And yes, I can tell you that in Brazil and Argentina, of course, there's a lot of talent. And yes, something for the future that is important in countries like Guatemala, Mexico, Dominican Republic, and all of this is to slowly grow the sport so the level can go up and therefore we can have more champions from Latin America.
All right, all right. So let's see how 2025 how it goes, of course.
Yes.
And guys, thank you so much for watching me another episode in Motorsport International in Romanian Culture Cars. If you want to come and tell us your story, I invite Mateo Llarena to invite other people. So if you want to come, contact Mateo. Mateo contact me, and after that we will set a day and time to tell us your story, results, achievements as well, and other things to do, other things, other stuff like that. And guys, until next time, thank you so much, Mateo, to accept my invitation. Good luck in the rest of 2024, and let's see the 2025 how it goes. And guys,
Thank you.
until next time, I'm back. Vlad-Andrei. With me was Mateo Llarena, GT driver for Lamborghini. Guys, street is not circuit. You are the best, and let's go racing, vroom.